Hey, it's Jacinta C, back on your screens with another video. I know I've not uploaded in a while. You know I haven't uploaded in a while. Let's just not talk about it. Today, what I'm going to do for you is, as you can tell from the angle of this video, I'm going to be doing another face painting video. What I thought I would do is, I kind of wanted to challenge myself. I've been face painting for about nearly 2 years now, I think, and I think I've gotten better in those 2 years from obviously when I first started. And I was looking through my photos of all the face paints I've ever done, and I came across my first couple that I ever did, and they're only like really little kind of design face paints. They're not full face ones, but they're really bad, or at least I think they are. When I put the pictures up of them, you guys might not think they're that bad, but I definitely think they're awful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna challenge myself to remake them, and hopefully they're gonna come out better than when I first did them. It'd be very funny if they didn't, in a terrible kind of way. So yeah, hopefully they'll come out better, and I'll be able to add maybe a little bit more to them and make them look better than they originally did, because they were awful. So I'm actually going to split this into two different videos. I'm going to do one design in this video and then one design in another. So today I will be doing this design, which as you can see, it's just a simple over the eye design. With this one has a blue going into like a vomit green colour, because I wasn't able to blend properly, not ploppily, that's disgusting. But yeah, I wasn't able to blend. I cannot speak today. Oh my god, why am I filming? Right, I couldn't blend properly. There we go. The black kind of outline with the swirls is way too thick. The white kind of highlight in the black, again, is way too big, way too blotchy. Now, to try and make this a little bit better for myself and make me look like I wasn't just completely awful, to be fair to me, the brushes that I was using back then weren't even real, like, face painting brushes. They were either makeup brushes that, like, didn't take the paint onto them very well, or just, like, actual, just normal painting brushes, which you shouldn't really use on your face because they hurt, as I found when I used them. That's why I never, when I first started face painting, I just done them all on myself, kind of made myself sort of like a little portfolio kind of thing of all my photos. Then I got better brushes that were actual face painting brushes, and then started, like, I put up like a Facebook page of all my photos, where you could, like, if you wanted me to face paint for you, like, you could book on the Facebook page. So like a business Facebook page, that's the word I was looking for. And that is how it all started for me, really. But now, since the Christmas just gone, some of these were what am I saying? Some of these were a present, and then I just went and also bought myself some. But I have loads. Ooh! Shouldn't have done that. Right. It's lucky I'm just using these on myself today, isn't it? Right. I got loads and loads and loads of new brushes. And as you can see, hopefully, these are actual face painting brushes, so I won't be hurting my face. The paint will go onto them properly, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully it will just come out a lot better than when I first done it. Obviously I will be talking you through all the steps that you take to do this face paint as well. Oh, I don't think I actually said, on this one it goes from like a dark blue into like a vomit green, like I have already said. But for this new one I won't be using those colours, just because I don't think green blends very well into blue. It does turn into like a not very nice colour. So instead I will be using this new blue that I have, which is like a baby blue. I don't know if that's coming out on camera very well. And pink as well. I will also be using my black and my white, because obviously that's like the border of the face paint with the little swirls and stuff. And yeah, that's all you really need for this face paint is pink, blue, black, white, some sponges, which I have these like little, they are makeup sponges, but I find that they work just as well as like proper face painting sponges, which is like the circular ones that you cut in half. I have used them in previous videos, so if you want to know what they look like, just go and watch one of them. I will link my face painting playlist in the description, as well as all of my social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I will also leave a link to my face painting Facebook page, so you can have a look at all the designs that I have on there, and maybe book me if you want to. Hint hint, nudge nudge, do it. I'm joking. Right, so yeah, on with the video. I will stop babbling. The one other thing that you will actually need that I forgot to mention is some water, obviously, because these are water activated paints. So yeah, I use this little spray bottle, as I've said in previous videos. I just feel it's so much easier and cleaner and like, yeah, just easier really to use a spray bottle rather than a cup with water in it that you like wash out your brushes. Especially if you're going, like for this, you could really use a cup with water in it, but if you're ever going to like an event that you are going to be face painting loads of different people, I just find it so much easier to have a spray bottle, your paints, and then loads and loads and loads of brushes. So really you can have a brush for each colour, or even multiple brushes for each colour if like you don't want to like use the same brush on every single kid. And obviously sponges you do need loads of, because you can't really use one sponge for one colour. You have to use a different sponge for each kid really. I do that when I go to an event, but all the events that I've gone to so far have been only like birthday parties or like communion parties and stuff like that, so there's only been a small amount of kids. But if you're ever going to like a festival or like a school kind of fun day where the entire school is attending, you will need loads of brushes, loads of sponges, because yeah, you're not typically supposed to use the same sponge on two kids. You're supposed to change your sponge every time. But yes, the first step of this face paint, which is what we're actually supposed to be doing today, not just talking about random things, is you get your blue paint and one of your little sponges, whether it's one of these or one of the actual face paint sponges, and you just load it up with loads and loads of that blue paint. And what you're gonna do is I'm gonna do it on this eye actually. You're gonna start in the kind of corner where it meets your nose and blend it out to about halfway. I can't think today. Halfway onto your eyelid, and then just over your eyebrow as well. If you want to, you can blank out your eyebrow so you don't have like oh my goodness, so you don't have to what you can do if you want to is blank out your eyebrow so you don't have to scrub it after you finish the face paint and you're taking it off, or you don't have to scrub your child's face paint, because if you're doing it on your child, you could be doing it on you, I don't know. But yeah, the way that you blank out your eyebrow is you just get a normal Pritt stick, like glue stick, put it over your eyebrow a few times, let it dry, do it once more, like 2 or 3 times, let it dry, and then your eyebrow is blanked out, really. It's really a trick that you use in SFX makeup, so when you put like latex or wax over your when you put latex or wax over your eyebrow, when you're taking it off, it doesn't rip your eyebrow out. So yeah, you can do that if you don't want to like scrub the paint off, because it's hairs, it does tend to kind of not stick to it, but like it does tend to stay in the eyebrow more than it does the skin. Like the skin, it could just wipe off with a wipe, but you're gonna have to scrub your eyebrow if you don't blank it out, which I'm not gonna do. I may regret that later, but that will be off camera, so you guys never need to know. So you get your blue paint, your sponge, you wet the blue paint with your water, or you dip your sponge into the water if you're using a cup. You load it up, and then halfway through, from the corner of your eye to halfway and just above the eyebrow, in blue paint. I will be back when I've done that, otherwise I just won't stop talking to you, so I'll be back in a second. So I am back, and this is what the blue should look like on your eye. So yeah, from the corner to the middle and then just above your eyebrow, like that basically. And then what you do next is you get another sponge, and you can see where this is going. You get your pink, and then you go from where the blue, from just before where the blue stops to the end of your eye, and again just above your eyebrow. You can take it slightly further, so like down here if you want to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that yet because I haven't seen it. I will decide whether I want to do that as I go, so just kind of what looks the nicest. So once again, you water your sponge, you build up the paint on the sponge, and then put it on your eye. Couldn't be simpler. So I will be back again once I have done that. So once again, I am back. I did decide to go just underneath my eye, but what I've also added is, with the blue, I have just gone underneath my eye as well, which you can do with a sponge, but unless you have a really steady hand, you're most probably going to poke yourself in the eye, which I don't recommend you do because it really hurts. So what I would do is I would get one of these kind of flat end brushes, and then just add the paint to that, and then just go slowly underneath the eye, just like you're putting on eyeliner really, but just kind of blend it out with your brush. And then I'd also done that for the pink as well, so they kind of meet about halfway underneath the eye, just to make it kind of pop a bit more. So yeah, that is what you do with the pink and the blue. I'm just going to go ahead and try and blend out the line where the pink meets the blue, just so it's not so harsh. Yeah, a bit more like that. I do know that there's less blue now, but you could blend with, I decided to blend with the pink into the blue, but you could do it the other way around if you wanted more blue than pink. I think the pink looks nicer having a bit more, but if you don't agree, obviously feel free to go and blend with the blue. You would just do it the opposite way to what I done it. What is going on with this camera? It won't stay focused. Am I moving too much? I don't think so. So yeah, that is what you do to blend, is you don't go in with more paint, you just use the paint that's already on the sponge, and by the time that you get to doing this, the paint should be slightly dry, but the paint on your face shouldn't. So it should be easier to blend into each colour. So yes, what you do next, we're on to the kind of final stages of this look now. What you do next is you get a thin, just trying to find one. Yeah, I'll use this one. You get a thin, round-headed brush. This is a number 6 brush in these brushes, which I will also link below, just so you know the kind of brushes that I'm using, because I can't remember the name of the brand off the top of my head, and it doesn't actually properly say it on the brush. It just says artist brush, but you know. So yeah, you get this, you get your black paint, and once again you wet the paint. Once again, I find it easier if you don't wet the brush, you wet the paint, because then the paint becomes creamier and it's not watered down by what's on the brush, and it's also a lot quicker to get the paint on the brush and to apply onto the face if you just wet the paint, instead of wetting your brush and then being in the paint for ages, kind of mixing, trying to get that creamy texture. So yeah, what you do is you do, as you can see from the photo, you do the line around the face paint that you've already done, and then off of that you can kind of do some teardrops or some swirls. Once again, I'm not going to know where exactly I'm going to do them until I do the actual face paint, because I will decide as I go along. But yeah, really it's up to you where you want to do them. You can do as many or as little as you want. I find it best to kind of decide these things on the size of the person's face, really, because if it's a child's face, they're obviously going to have quite a small design, so you're not going to want loads and loads of swirls. So then on a child's face, I'd only do kind of a couple, and then a few teardrop kind of leafy kind of designs as well. But obviously on an adult's face, you have a lot on an adult's face, you have a lot bigger of a space to work with, so you can do more swirls and more kind of teardrops. But once again, don't obviously do too many, because then the face paint will look really crowded and you won't really be able to see the design. Oh. You won't be able to see the design of the colours. Instead, you'll just kind of see this black blob on a person's face, which is never very nice. So yeah, I will be back once I have the swirls done. So I am back. I have done all the black that I want to do on this face paint. So as you can see, I've done a few swirls and then a few kind of teardrop leafy kind of designs as well. To do the teardrop kind of things, you literally just get your flat end brush. That's why it's the best to use for this design, and you literally just place it flat onto the skin and then take off. You don't kind of brush it at all, you just place it and then take it off, and then it leaves this kind of teardrop shape on your face. So the last step for this face paint is you get the tiniest brush you have. For me, it would be this. Are you gonna focus? Focus. This kind of very thin brush. It is I don't know if you'll focus. No, you won't. It's a number 3 brush. It's actually a flathead brush, not a round one. And you get your white paint and you basically just put little highlights and like white dots where you think you should have them. So in the middle of the teardrops, some along the line of the outline around the colour. Once again, it's kind of just, you play it by eye. I don't think that's an actual phrase. I think it's play it by ear. I don't think play it by eye is a thing, but I'm going to pretend it is. You play it by eye as you go along. You just decide for yourself where you think they would look nice. The one piece of advice that I would give you though is less is more, because you can always add to your face paint, but it is very, very hard to take away from it. So if you just go ahead and put loads and loads and loads of white on, and then when you've finished you decide that there's too much, you can't take it away without rubbing off a lot of the face paint and then having to redo it. So less is more. Start with like just a few and then add a few more, but take it very slowly and do it little ones at a time and then slowly add. So I will be back when the face paint is finished and I will show you the final design. So I am back again. Don't know why I said that like that. But yeah, this is the final design. I'll just zoom in so you can see it properly. Yeah, that's the final design. As you can see, what I've done is just in the teardrop designs, I've just done a little bit of white in all of them, and then along the kind of border of the black, I've just done a couple or a few little highlights in there as well, just where the black goes a little bit thicker, which kind of gives the illusion that it's not as thick, and it kind of just instead of it being in your face and just really thick and black, it kind of just breaks it up a little bit. So yeah, that is the final design. What I'm going to do at the end of this video is I'm going to put them side by side. The first one that I obviously done about 2 years ago now, and then this one. And please let me know in the comments below which one is better. I really hope you all choose this one, because if you don't, it shows a lot about my face painting skills. So yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!